Well, greetings to you. Welcome to Uncensored Guyana. I am Dr. Prasad, coming to you live right here on the #1 platform on the internet, YouTube. No, it's not Facebook, it's YouTube. So welcome. And greetings to the rest of you who would watch me later on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram. Greetings to you too, and happy holidays. Let me be the first to start wishing you happy holidays. We are the mid of October, and before you know it, it's Merry Christmas and a happy 2026. Can you believe it? Then we have 27, 28, elections again. Elections again. I'm strongly looking at my options. I'm looking at my options. Maybe I'll start a political party. You never know. I'll start a political party. I'm looking at what's available. Because under the current status quo, everybody is there for their own self-interest. Self-interest, meaning to enrich themselves. And those who are fighting to go there, they're fighting for the same thing, to enrich themselves. Guyana needs somebody who hates the idea of being a millionaire. I love the idea of being rich, but I hate the idea of being a millionaire. I do. You see, it is impossible for me to be a millionaire on my way to becoming a billionaire and carry the country up at the same time. It's impossible. You can't balance it. For politicians to get rich, they have to keep the citizens poor. That's how it is. So as long as you see politicians in Guyana moving from a bicycle to a motorcycle, then to a car, then to a pickup, then to a different brands and so on, it means that their constituents are getting poorer and poorer. If it's a level playing field, politicians would not be rich, because government services are what is classified as public services. You cannot have a public servant that is a millionaire. That's impossible. Public servant mean you have to be like a religious leader. I know there are lots of pundits that are rich. I'm not talking about the rich pundits. I'm talking about the genuine pundits. The genuine pundits are not rich. They're noble. They are people who give service to humanity. A genuine magi is not rich. A genuine priest is not rich. These people live their life to serve. They are not living their life to be served. So a true politician is not rich. The ones that we have are not true politicians. They're businessmen. And politics is their business. I know a lot of you don't like to hear that because I'm controversial, as one person say. So every day is something new. You can't predict what Dr. Prasad will come with. What's he coming with today? You see, some of you expect me to be a slave to the PPP politicians. So no matter what they do, no matter how they treat their own people, I should turn the blind eye and always keep praising them. Why? Because I declare I'm a supporter of the PPP. How many times haven't I said before, I'm not a supporter of the president and the vice president. I'm a supporter of the PPP. And because they happen to be from the PPP, they get my support. But if the PNC was in government, I'll respect the president if it's from the PNC. But I won't support the president. I'll respect the president. I will not do anything to harm or to violate the constitution of the president, the office of the president. I won't do that. But he doesn't have my support. I support the PPP candidate and the PPP's president, the office of the president. But if the individual in these positions are breaking the policies of Chetty, they are coming with different narrative that has nothing to do with the foundation of the party, with the founder of the party, I can't support them. I can't. I wouldn't. That's not my thing. So let me get that clear. They do good, they have my blessings. They screw up, they don't have my blessings. But the party continues to have my blessings. The PPP's party has my blessings. But if the candidates keeps screwing up, or those who go out to and say they represent the party, if they're screwing up in their personal life, they don't have my support. So when I criticize them, understand that I need to. It's necessary. If you are a blind loyalist or a blind supporter of the PPP, that's you. Keep it to yourself. I'm not a blind supporter. I said my loyalty is to the Guyanese people. That's where my loyalty is. Guyanese people. All people. If you identify with a political party, that's up to you. But under the flag, I want the best for all Guyanese. Security, safety, a good life, prosperity for every Guyanese. But when I see politicians taking advantage of a weak system, a non-existent government oversight, then I have a problem with that. Because what they're doing, they're not taking from a foreign company. They're not taking from a foreign country. They are taking from the Guyanese people. So their wealth is being acquired, accumulated from the Guyanese people. If the wealth is properly distributed, we would not have rich politicians. We wouldn't. But they're rich because they're robbing the Guyanese people of their rightful share of the pie. That I have a problem with. You understand? So, let's deal with what matters. And in the future, I'll be dealing with these things more extensively. More extensively. But let's deal with these matters. Now, let's address Anil Nandalal, Attorney General, against his secret admirer, Melissa Atwell, aka Melly Mel. She is Anil's secret admirer. Now, as we all know, that it is alleged, not alleged, but I've heard through the grapevine that she usually have clients that are Indo-Guyanese in New York. And you know men. When it comes to pussy, men don't give a shit what religion you are, what political party you support. Even if you're an atheist, men don't give a shit. because the pussy is a pussy. It has no label, no identity. It's just a woman, a female carries the pussy, and a man is interested in that. He don't care about anything else. So, Melly Mel, she earns her bread from a lot of the Indo-Guyanese businessmen in America, because they're the ones with the money, right? They can pay $200, $1,000 to get their dick sucked or to fuck some woman in the ass. They could pay that kind of money. Them niggas can't pay that. The black ones can't pay that, unless they're politicians like Aubrey Norton. But the average black guy in America, he can't pay that kind of money. Most of them are broke. So Melly Mel and those kinds of women, they wouldn't be hustling black men unless they're giving them some free pussy. Drink, get drunk, and say, okay, whatever, free sex, come everybody. But when it comes to making money, they hang around the Indian men. So I get it. I've said it before. Mr. Nandalal, if you want to get rid of this demon, you have to ask her what she wants. You know what she wants. Maybe she never fucked a lawyer before. I mean, not an attorney general. So maybe she wants a chance to put it on her her book, her black book. Okay, junkie, check. Black, check. Nigger, check. Work, check. Ben shop, check. This one, check. That one, check. Critics, check. Oh, one is missing. Nandalal. The box is yet to be checked. So, Attorney General, she wants you to fuck her. Just fuck the bitch. She'll pay you quick. Trust me. She'll put another GoFundMe and she'll find that, how much is it? 38 million? She'll find that money, man. Just a GoFundMe. And she'll pay you. But as long as you don't give her the dick, your battle will continue. This tension between you and Smelly Smell is not going to be over, regardless of what the courts say. Yes, we know the law is the law and all that kind of stuff. We get all of that talking point. The bottom line is you got to fuck her. She wants you to fuck her. Just fuck her. Ask your wife for a hall pass. Tell your wife, listen, for me to get this bitch off my back, I got to fuck her. I'll use a condom. Your wife will she will be the best wife and say, okay. But don't tell me about it after. Then you'll have to explain what you did, what she did to you, where you went, how long it took. Just fuck the bitch, Anil. You're going to get that money. You're not going to get that money. As you rightly say, she doesn't have. That $37,000 from Mohammed, that's finished. She already ate that in clothes, in alcohol, in food. That's finished. Don't waste your time. There are some people who are saying that the Attorney General should not pursue the settlement, the judgment. He should be a bigger man. No, if you are the bigger man and you back off, what kind of example is that? If you listen to people and you say, okay, you know what, this is like an Indian against a black, I mean more so a black woman, people will be sentimental and say, yeah, because he's powerful, he's the Attorney General, he's going after this vulnerable woman, and she's black, he's racist. Yeah, I heard all of that. I heard all of that. For that matter, let me say this. Mr. Nandala, I'll tell you like it is. There are a lot of Indo-Guyanese that hate you. They hate you. Not just today. A long time. They hate you. A lot of Indo-Guyanese hate your guts, Attorney General. If it's up to them, you wouldn't be anywhere close to being Attorney General. And I'm not talking the average Indo-Guyanese. I'm talking powerful people. They don't like you. People call me, send me stuff, a lot of things about you, against you. So naturally, when it's about a fight, even though this is not a thing today, but there are lots of people who are happy that you and this Melly Mel woman are in this beef. They like what she said about you. They like that. I'm not talking black people. Sir, let me say this to you. The average black person in Guyana, they don't give a shit about you. The average black person in Guyana, they don't give a shit about the Attorney General. They don't care about you. They don't care about who you fight with. They don't care about none of that stuff. They want nothing to do with Anna Landelad, the average black person. Because to them, you are a racist. I am speaking after people. Indian. And not Indian who are pretending to be Indian and said, no, I'm talking people who I video call with, who I met in Guyana, sat with in Guyana, and talked with me, and shared a lot of stuff with me. One of the persons that they emphasize about is the Attorney General. They said people don't like this guy. People don't care about him. But because of political ties or whatever, he's there. Okay. So all that stuff. Naturally, I too shouldn't be concerned about the fight with you and this Melly Mel woman. She's a ghetto. She's a blackguarded, ghetto, low-life, hungry belly scum. I shouldn't be bothered with that. And the fact that you're Attorney General and crime is so high in the country, the laws that matters are not being emphasized. More common sense legislation is not being pushed. I mean, look at the ExxonMobil case. The PNC did a fucked up deal with ExxonMobil around the time when they started, 2016, around that time, messed up. The PNC practically sold out Guyana's future because they thought that the ExxonMobil people have all these connections. They can guarantee them continued election win. They thought they could use the ExxonMobil that can use the CIA, that can use the American government to keep giving the PNC chances that they can win, rig and win, turn a blind eye. They were hoping for that. That's why they attempted. They attempted in 2020 because they thought, well, the Americans will support us because we gave them a shitty deal. We sold out the country, we sold out the nation. So we can do anything in Guyana and the Americans will turn their back because we gave them a good deal. They were hoping for that, but they forget. The Americans, they are businessmen, politicians and businessmen. Politicians would suck up. They would suck your dick if they have to. If it means they'll get power, they'll do that. Businessmen will do whatever it takes to get the best deal so they get the bigger cut. That's what they do around the world. They just trick the PNC, Granger and the others, to getting the lowest possible tax bracket, profit sharing. PNC did that. So the Ali government came into play. The room was there, and I heard prior to 2020, where on the campaign trail, Jack Dio and Ali then wasn't president yet, and Nandalal talked about the bad deal with Exxon, with the Hess Corporation, and all these corporations. They exposed it. They talked so terrible. People were willing to give their life So the PPP will get elected to what? To do what? Undo the damage of the PNC when it comes to the ExxonMobil deal. People voted for the PPP, say, hey, change the deal. We know it was bad. You told us when you were in opposition. You told us in the parliament. You told us in campaign trail. You convinced us. We know it was a bad deal. So we're going to give you a chance to correct it. That's what happened. So the country kicked the PNC out and ushered in President Irfan Ali and his government. In 5 years, same deal. The only difference is accountability. Who gives a shit about accounting? And that don't put more money in the bank. Transparency with accounting doesn't put more money in the bank. It just tells you how much more Exxon is making. All the things that Exxon decided not to do, not to reveal, the Ali government say, hey, nee, we want to see that. But does it mean more money for Guyana? No. It just means we know more of Exxon's business, which will be more depressing for Guyanese. It's better you didn't know. You see, it's like this. I'm full of analogies. A lot of men want to know if their wives are cheating. They want to know. What was the point? They can't do anything about it. So why would you want to know? You can't leave the woman because she's the breadwinner. The house you're living in is her relative's house. You can't leave her. You suspect that she's fucking around, but you still want evidence. For what? Having the evidence means you're going to finally pack your bag and leave? No, you wouldn't. Then why you want evidence? To be more miserable? To nag at her every day and say, hey, you see, I know you were doing this. I know this, I know that. Yes, you're bad. Yeah. Okay, then leave. Then leave. You're leaving. It is to your own detriment that you know certain things. Knowledge in that sense is not power. It is the beginning of your end. So this whole thing with the ExxonMobil and the Ali government with new transparency, accountability, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Does it mean they're going to pay more to Guyana? No. Then what's the point? It is just exposing that the government is incapable of renegotiating the bad deal from the PNC. And don't tell me this shit can't happen. You are the government. It's your oil. How many times in the private sector, one person made a contract, the man's wife, who is married to him, so she has the legitimacy to make deals. She made a contract. And then the man comes and said, no, I didn't authorize that. I'm the man. We got to renegotiate this. Take me to court. I ain't got a problem with that. Let's go to court. Who loses? Because while the case is trying in the court, the business stops. Nothing can go on. So the fact that the government says, the Ali government say, throughout 2020, we're not going to renegotiate the deal. We are not going to take them to court. The position was, leave it as that. It could have been adjusted. It's the government's decision not to adjust it. On the advice of Anil Nandalal, Attorney General. Hence my point. I would be more impressed with you, Attorney General, if you had used the force of your office and pushed the government, the president, to say, hey, we need a better deal from Exxon. You guys talked so much about it during the campaign 2019, 2020. So much you talked about it. You, as an Attorney General, know the law. You're the expert on law. You know that that deal could have been renegotiated. You know Exxon couldn't do anything about that. But the government decided not to. Why? Why? Afraid of the Americans? Afraid of what Exxon can do? Afraid of what is the backlash? Afraid of what? The country is not benefiting from this deal. The PNC fucked it up. Does it mean it has to remain fucked up? All these new deals that are coming out now for the new finance of the Starboard block and this new, how is it different than the previous deal the PNC made? So far, with the Exxon stuff, it's just cost recovery. Guyana is getting a small, it's 10 years on. Guyana is getting a small little insy-bitsy thing from the oil. Exxon is getting the larger share continuously. They have to recover their whole total investment. Every penny plus their profit before Guyana really starts to see some kind of money from the oil. When is that going to be? When? 2030? When? That's that mittens that Guyana is getting right now. It's a joke. It is a joke. People can live a better quality of life in Guyana, a better quality of life. The wealth is there. The wealth is there. But the people aren't getting it. The people aren't getting it. Because the deals that were made by politicians, these fuckers, again, PNC did it. And in the PNC government, they were both the people who negotiated the deals with Exxon and these other corporations. In the PNC time were both Indo-Guyanese and fucking Afro-Guyanese. Both races negotiated the deals. It wasn't just the blacks, it was the Indian and the blacks in the PNC time. And the worst deal. Why? Because as long as their pockets were reached, they throw the rest of the country. Their cut was secured. And their cut, they don't have to be in politics. They can live the rest of their lives rich with their cut. The country now has to suffice with the little mittens they made a deal with from this giant of a company. Look how much billions Exxon recovered in 10 years. Look how much billions, 30-something billion. How much did Guyana get in taxes in its profit sharing? How much? Plus, we still owe them. We still owe them. So while I'm not impressed, Attorney General, with you going to collect your money from Meliswell, I'm not impressed with that. The point is, I'll be more impressed if you fight, if you use that same passion, that same force, that same determination, and go after the people who are actually robbing the taxes of the country. Go after them. GRA, you are the Attorney General of the country, which means your office covers legal advice for the Guyana Revenue Authority and all these places. They went to get their money from Azruddin Mohammed. How did your office help to enforce that? All them people in Guyana that are robbing the taxes, they aren't paying taxes. All them businesses, they are not paying taxes. They must face legal pressure. What is your office doing to help the country to fight the legal battle for all these people that are robbing the country? All these official contracts and deals has to be signed off by you. How come you can't change the arrangement with ExxonMobil? You are the law. You are the law. You advise the president on legal matters. The president is not a lawyer. So while this nonsense about going after Melly Smell, that's private stuff. All right? This thing is against you as a person. From all that matters, it's not against the office of the Attorney General. It was against the person, Alan Nandala, not the Attorney General, Alan Nandala. If it's against the Attorney General, then the office of the Attorney General deals with that. This is a personal thing. I told you before, the woman wants you to, she wants to taste you. But the bigger issue here is there are much more important issues to deal with, like getting a better deal from Exxon and all these other people that are fleecing Guyana, fleecing the country. They're taking advantage of our ignorance. Go after them. Change the laws. Change the deal, the contracts. Change it. Say no. This shit can't happen. You want to recover your investment with the oil in 5 years? No, it can't happen. It should have been a 50-50. 50-50. But they 75% as their capital investment recovery, and the 25%, they still get a cut of that towards the profit sharing. Then it's bullshit, man. It's nonsense. We keep doing this to our people. It's as if we are afraid of the white man. We are afraid of the white man. They're taking advantage of what they consider third world. Look at Guyana. Guyana doesn't seem like a third world. The only people that are causing Guyana to look like a third world are them niggas that are doing ones that are shit on the streets. They want to beat up the police. They want to slap the police in their faces. The police has to fight crime with their hands like this. The police have to cuss, ghetto cuss on the road. That's the only thing that's third world about Guyana. And the shitty politicians we have like David Hines, and now we have Azruddin Mohammed, they make it third world. But the masses of that country, the majority of the citizens of Guyana, are insulted with the term third world. They're insulted because they have more health than the so-called first world. The men are better looking. The women are more beautiful. There is less crime compared to America and Europe. They eat better. That's not a third world system. Haiti, third world. Nigeria, those places are third world. But Guyana is an insult. Forget about the few who keep making it look like it's a ghetto. But when you go on the ground, you see the beauties of the country. The people are sweet, loving, kind. But look how we're trending. Attorney General wants to collect from this low life. That's trending. The other one, Condoleezza, angry because she didn't get to take away the free food from the Marriott. That's what's trending. Well, I'm to the good stuff. If we give attention to the fact that the deal from the Exxon is bad, terrible, the people can pressure the government. I know President Ali said aggressively last year he's not going to change the deal, but the same President Ali said on the campaign trail 2019, 2020, he's going to change the deal. What changed? What changed? What changed? The presidents before then, the candidate, said first month in office, the whole deal would be squabbed. The whole thing would be, yes, because it's possible. And then suddenly, 2024, we're not changing the deal. Why? This is why they say these multinational corporations always control our politicians. All over the world, the same problem, special interest. Special interest. Who is funding you? Who is your donor? Who is your sponsor? Who pays for your campaign? Who donate towards your campaign? They're the ones who control decisions from the government. They control who's minister, they control who's whatever it is, because they have to have people that can look out for their interest. This Minister of Natural Resources, how connected is he with these special interests? How connected? That somehow you cannot revisit and change, tear up the contract with Exxon and say, hey, we tearing it up. You already make a lot of money, good for you. Now it's a new deal. What's stopping that? What? The ball is in Guyana's court. You're in my territory, my waters. You invest your money on my thing. Now I want a better deal. Why isn't it possible? What is the fear about? The Guyanese is not benefiting. I've also said it's beautiful with the roads, beautiful infrastructure. But when you drive throughout the city, the East Bank, the East Coast, there are so many empty land, so many empty land. Whether it's Gaisuko, of rice, whatever, empty land. But the citizens have to secure loans from the bank to buy a property or build a property. Whether it's a zero interest loan or whatever interest loan, Guyanese should not have to do that. Should not have to do that. There's too much money that should be coming into the treasury. Too much money. If ExxonMobil pays their right share, if they pay their right share, no Guyanese should have to pay for a house. No Guyanese. Because the development that we are seeing, in the country, it facilitates one set of people. Who does it facilitate? Business people. Because the business people, for their smooth operation of their business, they need better roads. They need easier access, faster access. They need that. They're the ones who will build their hotels, their big stores, their malls, the business people. The infrastructure development benefits business, not the citizens. How does it benefit the citizens? When since in the Hoyt's time, the Barajagdio time, the first 5 years of President Ali, the same places that were empty, still empty. Because people can't access the land, nothing is happening with the land. Nothing is happening. The only time the land becomes usable is when a special interest real estate company acquires the land at a zero cost, build a lot of houses, and sell it back to the Guyanese. Then people start to move in. But the people who are moving in there, they're moving in there with a huge mortgage on their shoulders. Huge mortgage on their shoulders for the houses that are built on land that they should have gotten for free. But a developer gets the land, funded by the government and some bank, and they're selling back that house, subsidized by the government, for an exorbitant amount of money. And the person is left to pay the bill. That's why the prices can't drop. Because the prices has to keep rising in the shops to get the taxes. That's how you pay your taxes. The prices will never drop. The oil is subsidized. Some services are subsidized, but the subsidy, again, comes from money that should be coming to you. Either way, the Guyanese will have it more difficult. Because apparently governments come and government go, just don't serve the people. And we are so blinded by partisan politics, identity politics, that when the PNC is in power, the blacks don't criticize. The PNC can do whatever they want, and they did it. They did all those nasty things against the Guyanese people. But the blacks did not criticize. They sat quietly, zipped their mouth, and they took it. Why? Because if they criticized, it meant that they are disloyal to the PNC, which is a black man's party. So they took all the abuse, all the misuse, all of that they took, and they shut up. And anybody dare to criticize the PNC, I was one of them. They call you an Uncle Tom, somebody's paying you, you're a disgrace, because you should not criticize a black government, no matter what they do, if you are a black person. Same fucking thing happening now. Same shit. Their PPP ministers are doing a whole lot of crap. You have any idea how much information I get? I'm bombarded with this. People are crying to me. And not black people. The blacks don't trust me to tell me anything about Indo-Guyana. No, they don't tell me anything. The people who trusting me to tell me stuff are Indo-Guyanese themselves. They're exposing a lot of the Indo-Guyanese ministers, a lot of them. But you know what's happening? There are those who see the wrongs. They know the corruption exists. They know all of that. But they shut up. They zip it. Because if they talk, it means that they're disloyal to the PPP. They are a bad Indo-Guyanese. They should not be criticizing the Indo-Guyanese government. They should not be criticizing because why? That's what the other side wants. The other side wants to know that, oh, the Indians are talking bad about the Indians. So the Indian are thinking, no, I can't talk bad about the Indian because that's what the blacks want. The same shit the blacks were doing. Oh, I can't talk bad about the blacks because that's what the Indian wants. And the politicians love it. They love it. Because the Indo-Guyanese politicians, now the government, seem to be getting away with whatever. Because their base is not criticizing. If the blacks or the PNC or whoever criticizes, they use the race card and say, well, don't listen to them because they don't like the Indians. It was the same thing with the PNC. When the Indo-Guyanese criticized the bad things the Granger government was doing, what do you think the Granger government said? Oh, don't listen to them because they're PPP and they're racial. They don't want to see a black government prosper. Same fucking nonsense. That makes my position difficult. Because now, if I have to speak on behalf of the people who are concerned, who are mostly affected, they have those lunatics in the PPP who are going to comment on my thing and say, yeah, look like he's turning. Look, which side are you on? Look, he's criticizing Ali. Look, he's this. Look, I thought you were this. I thought you were that. Yeah. That's how they do it. Forgetting that I've said before, I am here for the Guyanese people. Good, law-abiding Guyanese people. I'm here for them. I'm not here for a government or a political party, for the people. So if the people reach out to me and say, hey man, this is not right, this is not right, this is not right. What should I tell the people? You know, I'm sorry, but I can't address this because, you know, if I address this, they got them Indo-Guyanese who will say, yeah, you see, you can't trust these black people because look, he's talking about that. He's saying he's Indian and he's a Hindu and he's this, and look, he's criticizing the government. Look, he's this. You know, you can't trust these blacks. A black man is a black man. Am I supposed to say that to the Indian who reach out to me and complain? Well, you should know me by now. I'll expose what needs to be exposed. And like I said, the majority of the people right now in Guyana that are affected economically are not the blacks, are the Indians. The Indo-Guyanese are the ones who are largely affected by the policies of both governments, the PNC and this government. The Indo-Guyanese, they're the ones struggling the most, as in struggling the most. I can't betray them for nobody. I cannot betray them. I've learned one thing in life. For me, there are a few people that you can't trust. Those who have a price, politicians and pastors. Pastors, politicians, and people who have a price tag. You can't trust them. They will tell you whatever you need to hear. They will suck up to you to get your money and get your support. And when they're done with you, fuck it. They're done with you. They turn their back until they need you again. Then they remember that, oh shit, he exists. The people who are always there are the people, the average people that goes to their job every day, that goes to their farm every day, that has to wake up to milk their cows. They got to check their sheep. They got to wake up in the middle of the night when they hear a noise to see if it's a thief. They matter. And they're the ones affected. So again, none of these politicians matter. Because right now, they're benefiting the most from the people, from the treasury. I also want to point out a lot of land on the East Coast, on the East Bank, was confiscated. A lot of land from Indo-Guyanese was taken away. And one of the names that keeps coming up is the Attorney General's name, Anil Nandalal. Your name, sir, keeps surfacing. There's some others, but I'll call them in the future. As it relates to taking land away from Indo-Guyanese, not black people, Indian, who had land for decades, since in PNC time. They saw their land taken away under their feet before their very eyes from this government without compensation. Indo-Guyanese. Should I be silent on that? No, Guyana first. These people are Guyanese. They're not PPP. They support the PPP. But at the end of the day, they go to bed as Guyanese. They have to pay the same rates of GPL. They suffer the same blackouts from GPL. They have to pay the same water rates like everybody else, the same prices in the shop. They are faced with the same hardship like every other average Guyanese. Same hardship. So for some of you who are going to sit back and keep your mouth shut and would not call out these politicians, these ministers, for the wrong they're doing that only benefit their sponsors, if you're going to sit back and allow that to go because you think if you call them out, it means you are disloyal to the PPP, then you're stupid. You are stupid. Did you see what the WIN people do? They promised all these people. They made deals, and every one of them they broke. They found the power and they broke every one of them. That's what politicians do. That's what they do. They play on your sympathy and play the race card before elections. They criticize each other. But when it comes to the celebration, The president takes a picture with Azruddin Mohammed because they're Muslims together. The attorney general takes a picture with Kemrad Ramjatan. Politicians together. And the citizen, you're thinking, fuck. And I hated the other guy the other day because of these people. And look now. You don't know what's happening behind closed doors. It was recently you keep hearing that the WIN party and the PPP party collate regarding the Region 10 issue. Then you hear the WIN saying, no, we didn't collate. Then the PNC say, oh, we collate. Don't fucking trust none of them. None of them. They're all the same. These people from the WIN party, or not WIN, Azruddin Mohammed and his family, they know the politicians are corrupt. They know that. How they know that? Because they corrupted them. The Mohammed's family know the politicians are corrupt. They know they can tell the politicians anything. They can do anything to them. Because they know that, hey, what's this guy coming talking about transparency? I corrupted him. They know what they did to the politicians, PNC politicians, PPP politicians. They know because they're in business for a long time. The Mohammed's family. This is why the governments, both governments, could not have touched them. This is why the politicians avoided the subject of the Mohammeds. Because every politician passed through the Mohammed's office. The people know that they're corrupt. They know that. So now we are angry with Americans. We are angry with the US. Why? We should be angry with the politicians we keep electing. They're the ones who are causing people to grow in corruption. Because if the politicians were strict, the Mohammeds would never have gotten away with their crimes 20, 30 years ago. Not just them. No businessman in Guyana that has been doing drugs, gold smuggling, wood smuggling, whatever smuggling. They would not have gotten away with it for decades if we had decent, patriotic, law-abiding politicians. They wouldn't have. Everybody takes a pay under the table. And now everybody wants to pretend like they're good. This is why the Americans are skinning up everybody. They're skinning up everybody. And I tell you, chances are the Mohammeds may not be extradited. They may not face extradition. Why? Because they have a lot of information about powerful people. A lot of information. And they're busy making deals right now. They're busy making deals. If the deals that they're making right now involves Azruddin Mohammed stepping down as opposition leader, he may not, or his father, face extradition. As a matter of fact, the whole thing might disappear. The whole sanction and everything might just disappear. All the indictment vanished. If the deals turn out. You know the great deal maker, Donald Trump? If the deal reaches the right level, then they could face